What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show that is everything and anything Corvette related. Today we are with David from DBM Racing. He's here to grace us with his presence and his knowledge and his banter. Him and I banter back and forth with some of the best of them. So
we do banter well.
I was going to say, we could probably go like 10 hours on this live video and seriously not run out of things to talk about. So you guys,
if we went like 2 or 3 days without talking,
yeah,
just communicating, that could easily be done.
So thank your lucky stars that this show's only an hour or sometimes an hour and a half long, because otherwise we would, we would just keep going. Anyway, guys, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. I see a lot of the green names. I'm starting to see some new green names pop up in the chat too, which is really awesome. Really appreciate that, guys. As usual, members, this month you're going to get a free entry. So if you're not a member, consider becoming one, because it saves you money to do that. And we're going to talk about the giveaway here very soon, but this month is going to, of course, be sponsored by Solar, which you can see right up here. Those unbelievably pretty engraved throttle body blades. It's a shame you got to cover those up, because it's got the HPO logo on there perfectly. Really, really good stuff. But so we've got a lot to talk about tonight as well, guys. Plus, we're going to be doing a giveaway tonight and announcing a big giveaway for the month. So I'm sure you could probably figure out what that might be. You know, I'm not going to say anything just yet, but anyway. So before we jump too much into anything else, let's get right into it with Joe. You guys know, everybody knows Joe. Joeler, he's here to kind of go over some of the vet exchange stuff. So Joe, if you want to go ahead and take it away, it's all you.
All righty. Hello, Justin. Hello, David. Hello, all. How are you?
Hey, man. Doing good, buddy.
Good. So tonight what I wanted to do was go through vet exchange a bit and actually introduce a brand new car for the week. So if you were interested in some of the ones from last week, those are still available with some really good values to them. But we've got a new one for tonight. It's a 2024 Z06 in ceramic matrix gray. No longer available, as most know. 3LZ coupe, natural Napa interior, black wheels, yellow calipers. It's a one-owner, clean Carfax with just 594 miles.
Wow.
Has front lift, carbon fiber roof, competition sports seats, black exchange tips, red intake, sticker price $141, just about $27,000 off sticker. $113,995 buys you a 594 mile 2024 3LZ ceramic matrix gray. Let us know if that's of interest to you. I suspect this one is probably not going to be very long. Email us directly. We'll connect you directly with our partner Griswell, and I'm sure we can even do a bit better than the $113,995 by coming through us. So for this week, I'm going to leave it there. Again, you can check out the site and you can see the other cars that we have. We've got a couple pre-owned and a couple brand new 2026s. So with that, I'm going to segue quickly into something that I'm sure all of you have seen by now, and that Justin and I had been teasing out, and I think David as well. And that is that we have at Solar Performance now officially launched the new 92 millimeter. It's the only high performance Z06 C8 billet in the world. They are anodized aluminum, polished or black finish. One of the key features is still the shaftless blade, as you can see, unlike the OEM. And there's a great video that Justin launched earlier today. If you haven't seen it yet, I would check it out. And you can see the hallmark differences between, frankly, a stock GM, casting that's been around for quite a long time. In fact, that same casting that was put in our Z06 C8s from the factory, 87 millimeters, has been around since the C7. They did change the connectors and the calibration, of course, for the Z06, but the casting and a lot of the inner electronics remain pretty much a bit dated. So our 1200 CFM provides over a 24% increase in additional air over the stock 87s. As all of you know, giant air pump, more air in, more horsepower out. But actually, the real key is the drivability. At the low and mid end, you're going to feel just a whole lot more torque and pulling all the way through half to wide open throttle that you do in the base Z06. We also are now using not only our proprietary build ground up for this, but also using state-of-the-art newer electronics that are actually not in the more dated, let's say 87 millimeter that's been around, as I mentioned, now since 2014. So those are all the value points for it. It's exciting. It's the only one like it. And for those that are interested, Justin will be speaking more about how to attain it and get yourself a discount through the code HPO5. So very exciting. I'm going to leave it there for tonight. I will be on all next week with Justin to answer any other or more technical based questions, but it's here, it's available, and it's ready to go. So guys, have a great show. Hello and goodbye to everybody. And Joeler's watching.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
Love it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys. So a bunch to unpack there from Joe, of course.
Yes.
Right off the bat, we have a really cool C8 Z06 for sale at Criswell. And if you're interested, like he said, it is the ceramic matrix gray, and it's very well optioned for pretty low price. I mean, it's literally going to save you a ton off of the actual MSRP. It's $113, about $114. Of course, those prices are where they're listed already really good, but if you do go through us, you're likely to get an even better price. So if you'd like to do that, of course, hpovetexchange@gmail.com will get you right in touch with the correct person and get you into a car at a good price. So, I mean, don't wait. This car is going to go quick. The ceramic matrix gray is one of those colors that you either loved or you hated, and for the people that loved it, you can't get it anymore. So that's the last year.
Yeah, and you just didn't see a lot of them either, so it's pretty
right.
unique.
Yep.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, guys, if you didn't see the video yet, I just put it out today. It is the 92 millimeter throttle body from Solar Performance. Of course, very cool, very awesome. The thing I love the most about it, I'll be honest, is the build quality. The billet aluminum with the optional black anodized finish with, of course, the throttle blade that has my logo on it. I mean,
which is cool.
Holding that and even comparing it to the stock housing, which of course is just cast aluminum. It's night and day. It really is night and day. And because it's billet, the ability for them to just absolutely get that porting perfect. I mean, ported, polished. It is the smoothest port job I've ever seen because it's easier to do on a billet setup. So the biggest difference I noticed when driving with those is everything feels smoother. The power is much more linear. The way it comes on, it just feels smoother. It's not a giant bump, if any, in power, to be honest with you. I mean, it would be really hard to tell on 1 or 2 horsepower at this point. But my biggest difference I felt was throttle response and the linear response to them. So, again, if you don't have ported throttle bodies at this point, the 92s are the way to go, 100%. The 87s are going to be slowly phased out at this point from the Solar websites. You're going to have the choice of the 91s or the 92s. And really the biggest difference there is going to be mostly aesthetic. So with Joe coming on next week, tonight's giveaway is going to be a throttle controller. Now, what the throttle controller is going to get you is any car that Solar offers these for, you're going to be able to get that for that particular car. So it doesn't have to be a Corvette, but odds are good it will be with most of you guys. Now, when you enter for that, you'll win the throttle controller tonight. But anybody who enters for that will also be entered in for our end of month giveaway, which is going to be a set of the 92 millimeter ported throttle bodies in anodized black with the HPO logo on it. That's a $1,340 value. $1,300, and you guys could get it for an entry of $10. So as usual, $10 is an entry, $50 or more is double entries, and worst case scenario tonight, you're going to win a throttle controller. So even if you only want the throttle controller, at the end of the month, you're still entered to win this throttle body anyway. So get the entries in. That way you can get a heads up on this thing. The throttle bodies, trust me when I tell you, they are worth every single penny. They are very, very nice. I mean, I'm honestly considering buying another set and hanging them on my wall. They are that pretty. So
Yeah, and your video dropped today, and then I have one coming out tomorrow where I literally have the stock, the 91s, and the 92s, just comparing them on camera, and the difference, like you said, the build quality is completely night and day. It's just such a different, and the only thing I really wasn't a fan of the 91s over there. I love the performance, but when you have them on the car, they look exactly like the stock throttle bodies.
right.
You can't tell. You can't see the 91 solar. There's literally the same type casting on the outside. Like, you just don't know, right? Sure, I'll take your word for it. You've got Ford throttle bodies, whatever, right? But you're not going to make that mistake with these new ones, man. They look so good, and I love how Solar did the little logo, little cap that you can put in. Because mine, I alpha tested. You guys you'll find out the videos about it. I alpha tested these. I got a set in December. And that's the track days when I went with Steven and everything else. I mean, those were with the 92s to make sure we didn't have any check engine lights, to make sure they performed well, all of the things. And we actually took them out and just beat the slop out of them. And like Justin says, it's the drivability for it be, it picked up a millimeter, but it's not the overall effective volume where you're going to get, mega horsepower out of this. But you'll see in the video tomorrow, the amount of smoothness, like he said, and the way they can do it since it's billet and they can machine it themselves, only they don't have to like be careful because the stock casting is only a certain amount of metal for them to hog out. It's night and day. It looks absolutely amazing. I mean, I was blown away when I first saw them. And mine are, like I said, mine were like pre-production. Mine still say like, I think 103 millimeter on the top because it was whatever housing that they used.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I mean, I was amazed at them because you're not going to lose power, and is 1 millimeter going to pick you up a lot of power? No. But again, I'm like Justin, man. I'm going to either paint mine black or pick up an anodized black set. But if I don't paint mine black, the polished ones look so good, I'll just put them on a shelf in the garage to look at them because they look so good.
They do. So, yeah, guys, the way that this all worked out, because, David and I are as close as we are, during December here in Pennsylvania, if you guys are in the Northeast, you understand, there was no chance I was getting my car out. So Solar asked me to test them.
Right.
And I said, you know what? Send them to David because they actually have decent weather in Georgia. He can actually test these things.
Get the car out.
Yeah, my car didn't come out, I don't think, at all in December. So, yeah, that's together we were able to formulate a plan. So, yeah. Yeah, Jay Brazelton says he just put the 91s on. I'll tell you what, though, Jay. If you did go with these, or if you tried to enter and you won, the 91s will sell pretty much immediately. People, because power wise, there's not really much of a difference. And if you don't care aesthetically / build quality wise, it's not really a giant upgrade from the 91s to the 92s. But the way that they look in the engine bay, the build quality of them, plus it will have a freaking HPO logo on it. I mean, what more do you need to hear? Charles, on the other hand, though, he is going big here. He throws a big donation right off the bat at the channel. So he's going to have 100 entries right off the bat. So if you guys want to get in on the throttle body, like I said, we're giving away a throttle controller tonight. So you're going to win that. But even if you win that, your name is still going to be in the entry for the month's end 92 millimeter throttle body giveaway. So if you guys are interested in the throttle controller, or even if you're not, throw in some cash at this thing. You're going to end up winning these throttle bodies for much less than what they cost new. So definitely check it out.
Well, and a lot of the stuff you'll see tomorrow in my video too, where I break out the calipers and I'm doing whatever. Like the other thing is the rear of it, the exit on the rear. There's a big difference in the size of the exit on the rear over even the 91s and the 92s. So I think you're going to get more airflow than we originally think.
Oh yeah.
From a standpoint of comparison to the 91, but again, I mean, just holding them, like when you hold the side, it feels so cheap now. And then you hold that 92, you're like, yeah, this is exactly what I should have in my car.
It is crazy. It's how, I mean, when I opened them up, I was like,
I was blown away.
I'm sitting there like going on, and I was like, I pulled out my camera and started recording. And I was like, I had to stop myself at one point. I'd be like, okay, I'm getting way too excited over a freaking throttle body here, but this thing is freaking nice. Like, it's like at the end of the day, it's a throttle body, but it really is a nice piece. So,
and I'm not a polished guy usually, but when they came out of the box, I was like, wow, those look great.
Ricky asked, will Solar take trade-ins? It's a good question. I actually don't have the answer for that. I do know a guy who will have the answer for that, and if he's not on the chat, he'll be on here next week to answer that question for you, Ricky. So, worst case, if he doesn't answer it tonight, hold on to that one.
And like Justin said too, man, like you're not gonna have a problem selling those 91s.
No.
Yeah.
Charles bought like 3/4 of the giveaway pie. Yes, he did, unless somebody else matches his donation, and then all of a sudden we got an old-fashioned slobber knocker going on.
Joe,
LT4 powered, yes. The throttle controller will be for any throttle controller they sell on their website. So if you want to get in on that, tonight's the night.
And Joe just answered your question.
Oh, yeah, he did. We're not going to be selling the 87s anymore, so we'll not be doing trade-ins. There you go. Did he say he had 87s? I don't think he did he?
And 91s.
Yeah, what about 91s, Joe? I think he said that he doesn't have 87s, but if he has 91s, yeah, Charles is like, he wants the 92s. You should, man. I'll be honest, if you don't have a set yet, the 92s are the way to go. And even if you do have the 91s, I'm not going to tell you to do it, but if it was me, I would do it. Like, it's at the end of the day, do you really want to be the guy that has the 1 millimeter less throttle body? I know how ridiculous this sounds, trust me, but seriously.
No, it doesn't at all. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you were telling me this and we were having this conversation without me holding that throttle body in my hand, I would be that, I don't know, like, well, what I want to, after holding the 92s, those billet ones, it's not even a question.
Nope.
I was like, yep, this is exactly what's going on my car. Yep.
All right, Joe, Jay Brazelton, I got you in for 3 entries. Thank you. He's in for the throttle controller tonight. So with Joe, or with why don't I call him Joe? Everybody's Joe in my life. With Jay in, you never know whenever Jay enters. Okay, so you guys, there is no for sure thing happening here. If you guys want to get in, do not hesitate. Even though Charles has bought up a lot of the pie, that does not guarantee anything. So, and Charles has the 91s on his Z now, and he's a 92 guy because he doesn't want to be that guy that says at the car show, hey, which throttle bars do you have? Oh, you have the 91s. Oh,
and not just
I'm just kidding.
But literally, guys, when you look into that engine bay and you see that billet piece sitting there with that beautiful Solar logo, they did a great job. I told Lou, I was like, man, that logo on top there is the icing on the cake. For me,
I didn't put the logo on because it's red, so it doesn't make sense on my car.
Right.
I am literally going to see if I can get somebody to put gray on there, because the gray with the logo, it would look good. If I can get gray on there, they're going on. Yep. John Perkins, absolutely 100% something a guy would say, but every millimeter counts. I totally agree.
Truth.
Totally agree. And it looks like we got an entry from Mark. Let's see. I'm guessing this is ZR1 Mark. Yep. So he's in for 20 entries. So it's always interesting when Mark enters, because I'm like, well, I guess in this case I know, but I'm always like, I wonder which car he's going to put this on. You know, he's got a Z06 and a ZR1. This guy's got what everybody wants in the world. So
exactly.
But I do know this one's going on the Z06 for sure. So Mark, I got
well,
you.
And it's not just that 1 millimeter on the effective area up front. Like I said, when I measured, and you'll see tomorrow on the back, the outlet, the actual diameter of that is significantly bigger on the 92s.
Yeah. Let's see. So 2. Yep. Actually, Mark, you get 40 entries, not 20. That's my mistake. I got it all set up though. So we just got another entry from Jay Brazelton. Jay realized he's got to go a little bigger. All right, so Jay's not messing around this time either. So we got some heavy hitters hitting on this one. This one's gonna get interesting.
Yeah, Jay, I'm not kidding you, man. Like, they are absolutely gorgeous, and I know you have a gorgeous manifold now, so you have to have these solars to match.
Yeah,
it is so beautiful, dude.
How do you know he has a gorgeous manifold? How would you know that?
Because I painted one. Because I painted one to send it to him.
Yeah, there you go. He's not tooting his own horn or anything. Actually, he doesn't even have to. I'll do it for him, because I've seen the intakes. Obviously, I've had 2 of them now in my car. They are perfect.
Yeah. And Joe was great to work with.
Joey Cutts says he just put his 91 millimeters in today. I had a feeling a lot of people were going to be saying something like that, but engineered insanity. How many entries do you get for buying the Z06 off Vet Exchange? Hey, I'll tell you what, if you buy one of those Z06s right now or commit to it at least, I'll give you 5 free entries. Why not? Maybe 10, depending on which one you're going to go for.
Yep, you're right.
If you're actually serious, so let me know. That would be absolutely a selling point. Yeah. Jay Browsington says I talked him into it.
I don't think you pulled his arm too hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really didn't try that hard, but
yeah. And I think the upside on all of this we're going to start to see, guys, is that now we have the ECUs unlocked. So we're going to start to see, more required airflow because we're going to be able to use more fuel and other things. The other thing is, this billet, let's say you're that guy that wants to go out and twin turbo your Z06, even though you can't control the transmission yet. This billet piece is going to be damn near indestructible. I'm going to tell you that much right now.
That's
it's not going to flex. It's not going to, this thing is going to be indestructible.
Yeah.
So you can throw boost at this Joker. You can throw nitrous at this Joker all day long. This thing is a monster. It is built so well. And, the stock ones, I'm telling you guys, it is a thing. And when I held them, like I said, I wouldn't have said the stock ones feel flimsy or cheap, or even the 91s. I love my 91s. I had them forever. But the difference when you hold them, it's not even close, dude. Again, like I said, I'm thinking to myself, now this is what I want to put on my car with all the performance mods I've got coming this summer. This I must have. So again, guys.
Oh my. All right. So we got some real big ones coming in now, guys. Mark's in for another 40 entries. Mark's always a heavy hitter here. So originally we thought Charles was going to run away with this. Now it's getting real close here. And actually we got a bigger one from Kevin Reynolds. He's in for 650. Oh my God.
There you go.
You guys
I'm telling you, look, the price on these, it's doing, I am telling you, the difference in quality from the 91s to the 92s is not even in the same league. It's not even close, guys. I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but when you see tomorrow my video where it's literally just me comparing all three of them and measuring and looking at, it's not even the same league, man. Like I said, if I didn't already have, my set that I was testing, whatever else, I would not have been able to not pull the trigger on these Jokers immediately when they were announced. Hell, it was hard for me to keep testing them and not say anything about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was so happy with them.
Yep. Timmy, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. And I did just see, who was it? Anthony George. Welcome to the HPO fan, the loyal HPO fan.
Hey, what's up, Anthony? Good job, buddy.
I appreciate it. One of these days, one of these Mondays, I'm going to come in here and every single name that pops up is going to be green. And again, guys,
awesome.
the ported throttle bodies will be given away at the end of the month. So the last Monday of the month, I'm going to offer free entries for the members. I'm still kicking around how many free I'm going to give you, but it's going to be more than one this time. So if you're not a member, get to be a member ASAP, because you'll get free entries at the end of this month, and it's going to be more than one.
Yep.
NBA Live says, David, did you dyno with the new 92? I don't think you did you?
Not yet, but that is all coming because of the build that I have coming with my Z06. It's currently getting tuned at LMR right now, but that will be coming NBA. I don't expect a huge difference, to be totally honest with you, just because it's, on the effective area, it's a millimeter greater. On either side, it's 2 millimeters. Somebody else pointed that out.
Somebody else did say it's 2 millimeters. Yeah, it was Hot Rod.
But on the back end, there's more airflow. So I think we're going to pick up powers are going to be earth shattering now.
Right. So
it's coming.
One other thing I wanted to note real quick is I'm actually texting with Lewis as we speak from Solar. And he says something to note. This is a big something to note on these. No OEM throttle body can flow more than the new 92 millimeter throttle body from Solar Performance. It is physically not possible. So when you want the best of the best, this is it. There is nothing else that's going to touch this. And if it's in an OEM casting, it's not going to touch it. It can't. Right. It's physically impossible.
And that goes to several things. It's the amount of material they can hog out of that. And then they always have to take out that lip, so you still have a lip where the billet piece is just straight through. It really is. And you know, when you're
And
talking about
if they take out too
min-maxing,
much, then it can bend.
exactly,
So that's why it's billet.
exactly. Yep. And the other thing too with that is, like Justin was just saying, guys, if you're that person that's min-maxing your car, or you're that person, 92s all day long, hands down, because you are going to get more airflow. No one's going to be able to hog out a 91 or more than a 91 out of the, because the other thing with that is you're going to start throwing codes. I know that
Right.
because I was kind of back, new behind the scenes of the development of some of the other throttle body companies, of as they continue to try to go bigger than the 91, the equivalent of the 91s. In the stock casting, they were throwing codes.
Yep.
Okay. These 92s I've had on my car since December and have been just banging on them. They are awesome. No codes, no drivability. Actually, I think the drivability is a little better, to be honest with you. The throttle tip in is certainly better. But yeah, you guys, I'm telling you, if you're that min max person, you better not sleep on these, dude, or you're going to be leaving power on the table. And I am. It is part of my build this summer. Like I said, I'm adding a lot of power, and we're going to see.
All right, so Squirrel Cage Garage is in the house, and Squirrel Cage don't leave before I talk about something that you and I have been talking about, because I want people to know that the idea was born by both of us, but we've definitely discussed this quite a bit. So before you leave, he asks, there are more green names than gray. Who are the 10 originals? And I feel like I might as well just show it. I don't even need to talk about it. I'm going to show it. So here it is on the actual YouTube channel. And this is actually even more than the top 10. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Top 13. This is quite a list. We got Tech Speed. He's the very first one to ever join and has maintained it for 18 months.
That's
Dan, awesome. Seawolf Z06, same
number
thing,
2.
18 months, number 2, but he must have been like 2 seconds behind Tech Speed. Professor Corvette, 17 months. Squirrel Cage Garage, of course, this is probably the reason he asked. He's number 4. C8 Nate. C8 Nate. I don't even know if he's in here. C8 Nate. Steve Robertson, Brand's Garage, Steve Brescia, Gordon, Jay Brazelton. We know these guys, right? Randall Swanson, He's in here a lot. I don't know if he's in here now, though. AARPM, and then, of course, yours truly here, David.
Yep.
All these guys are 15 months and greater and have still maintained it for that period of time. That's pretty impressive. The guys that are on this particular
awesome,
list
guys.
right here, you guys, literally, you're doing God's work here. It is fantastic what you guys have done. I mean, David's constantly supporting me in every single possible way that he can. So this is just more evidence of that. The fact that you guys tune in every single Monday night, that's evidence. The support here is absolutely insane. So I appreciate all of you. But that list of 13 people have literally been here from day one, and they're still here. That's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yep. I would have been a week earlier on that, but I put in the wrong credit card.
That's right. I remember you had it. Yeah. So he would have actually been earlier. That's good to know.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's not the right credit card.
Yeah, there's 3 ahead of you, Ken. But honestly, it's like those literally for the first 2, especially with 20
and
Dan. Yeah, it had to have been between Tech Speed and Dan. It could have been a second. It literally could have been a second. And I love that it was that close. But I was gonna say, you guys are gonna make me cry, right? Yeah, you guys are awesome. You're awesome.
That's that community you're building, man. That's really what it's about.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Sean. I know Sean was one of the first ones as well, but I know the way that YouTube bills it. There's sometimes there's issues with billing, and to figure out where to change that stuff, it's like you need a PhD to dig through the settings in YouTube to find that stuff. And I actually created a video to show people where to go for their subscriptions, because it's not very obvious where you have to go to change that stuff.
Right.
So I know it gets difficult, but I really do appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. Dan says it's fantastic, the content you two put out consistently. Thank you. No, thank you.
Oh, thank you, man. We appreciate it.
Yep.
I'm just here to support Justin.
Steve Robertson said he heard that I'm giving them all ZR1s, all 13. You guys are getting ZR1s. ZR1 for you?
Yeah, we
ZR1 for you?
we ordered your Hot Wheels ZR1s today.
I was going to say, it was $1.50 plus $4 shipping. You're going to love it.
There you go. It'll be there next week.
Bill says, "Hey David, HPO has denied your credit card. Better late than never." All right, so did we get any more entries? 10 minutes. Let me see if this is a new one or not. I never know with you guys. No more entries for now. But like I said, guys, members will be getting a bigger membership only entry at the end of the month here. It'll be the last Monday when we give these away, so stay tuned for that. You have to be here to claim it. C8 and 8, you've been a member forever, dude. You might as well get in here. I don't know if you're in here now, but you might as well get in on that, even though you don't have a Z06.
He's got that new baby at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that brand new baby at home.
Jay Brazelton says, "I haven't met a better YouTube community than HPO." And that is a bigger compliment than you could possibly imagine. That is exactly what I wanted to do with these live videos. Whenever I first started thinking about doing like weekly or, consistent live videos, the very first word out of my mouth was community. That literally was all I care about, because I could show you guys some of the analytics, and maybe I will, of these live videos. They don't, by themselves, they don't really do much for Horsepower Obsessed, the YouTube channel. This is strictly for community building. At the end of the day, the YouTube channel typically loses subscribers, not many, but like 1 or 2 every live video, and it makes almost no money outside of the giveaways. So there's really not a lot of reason to do this outside of building a community, and that's what I wanted to do. I knew that going into it, and that's 100% what my goal was. So if that's what is happening here, then it is exactly what I wanted it to do.
Yeah. And that's been the best part of this for me, supporting you and being involved, is meeting all of these names that are in the chat
right
when we go to the events, and getting emails from them, getting texts from them, and just hey, check out what I just got. Like, it's not just a thing, like, you're part of that community with them, that they're sharing what they just got. I got this car, check out my seat covers, check out this. I mean, I love it, and it's been the best part of the journey for me. But that's kind of me speaking kind of outside of our little collaboration now, is that's what years ago drew me to your channel, man, was the fact that you can easily see through the fake shit on YouTube. It's really easy to tell who's really cares about what they're talking about. They're passionate, they love the community, versus the people that are out there just trying to be the next viral thing, or just trying to just slam out content. But it comes through, and I'm just happy to be here to support you, and just I love everybody in this community. Like, I get such great stuff back from you guys that it is almost a reward for being involved with this, because I get to see your pictures, your stories, we meet up, your families. Like, it's awesome, guys.
Yeah, it is.
We really appreciate it.
Joey Cut says that he's a newbie and he loves it. Thank you. The content is priceless for me. I learned so much
Joey,
here.
Thanks, buddy.
And that's, I mean, again, it's just like, you guys are literally taking the words right out of my mouth. This is what I wanted to create, was a community that we could learn from, get to know each other. I mean, I remember the first time that I met, especially like Professor Corvette. He came up and introduced himself as Professor Corvette. I was like, oh my God, like, he's been on the channel for like a year prior to this point, and this is the first time I get to finally meet him in person. It's incredible putting a face to the name. It really is something else.
It is.
Solar Joe Joler says, Justin and David, the dynamic duo for our generation. Ricky says, the biggest thing I love about you guys is zero clickbait on your videos. And that's, you'll never see clickbait from me. The number 3 guy should get a ZR1X Quail edition. Yeah. I'll get right on that. Actually,
if you got 400K over, I know.
I was just going to say, David has a number for you. Good God. What a ridiculous number. V8 says, what's up, guys? Running late, work. I need to retire. Yeah, that's okay, man. I really appreciate you tuning in for even a hot second.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah, guys, let's get the thumbs ups rolling. I didn't even notice that yet. We're at 73. Let's smash the thumbs up if we can. We're going to continue, of course, with some news, but we want to get the thumbs ups going as soon as possible. So let's get those to 100. We got over 150 people watching. Smash the thumbs up. We're going to talk about some ZR1, ZR1X news, and we're going to get into the giveaway a little bit more with the 92mm ported throttle bodies from Solar Performance. Those are going to be the giveaway for the end of the month. But if you enter tonight, you're going to get entered for those throttle bodies, and you're also going to get entered for the throttle controller that will be given away tonight. And that's for any car that Solar makes them for. It doesn't have to be a Corvette, even though most of you are here probably for Corvette stuff. But like Shadow Strider says, let's get those thumbs up.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got here. It's cool meeting the HPO gang at Carlisle. Yep, Dan was another one that I remember when I met him. It was like super exciting.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, these people. I look forward to meeting you at the events.
Yeah.
Like I look forward to seeing Dan and Coco. I look forward to seeing Clay and Gigi. I look forward to seeing all these.
Yep.
It's just Aaron and all these guys. Tyler, C5 Vader, like all these folks.
And actually,
I just love Kevin and his wife. Like you guys are freaking awesome.
Yeah. One of the things I did want to actually point out here, if I can. Yeah. So Hot Rod Todd, obviously met him at the Bash, I believe in 24 was the first time. Big shout out to Hot Rod Todd. If you guys haven't seen the latest solar performance video, he actually sent me something. And this is again, the part of the community thing. He mailed me something in the mail that made my freaking day. So I'm just going to show you if you haven't seen the video yet. It's on my Eventuri intake. I pulled off the red stripe that said Eventuri on it and put on a Seawolf gray stripe, but I couldn't get it to say Eventuri because it was just a piece of vinyl that was gray. It matched my Seawolf gray car, which was cool. He sent me the black lettering that perfectly says Eventuri in the Eventuri font that will fit on that stripe. So now it looks like a legit color from Eventuri on the intake.
That's awesome.
And I was like, Hot Rod Todd freaking nailed it. That was like perfect. And the way it fit, the way it lined up and stuck down, it was all perfect. And it's like, this is just another part of that community building thing that's just like a beautiful thing. So again, thanks, Todd. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it's great. I like one of the guys that I bought a manifold from, or the manifold from me. His name's Gary Skelty. He was like one of my drag racing idols growing up as a kid, and I'm like, holy crap, this guy just bought a manifold for me, and then he's a legend. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting I actually have it, but I'm getting like T-shirts and sweatshirts and all this stuff. And his son's running Outlaws, so I've got all his like. You guys are awesome, man. You really, really are.
Sean says he's going to miss the Bash this year. His daughter's getting confirmed. What about Carlisle, Sean? Be cool to see you there again. I know Forge Light's going to be closer to us this time around. So if you're bringing your car, you'd be real close to the Horsepower Obsessed booth too.
Congrats to your daughter.
LT4 Powered says
exactly.
LT4 Powered says I don't feel safe in this community. Yeah.
He doesn't feel safe in the community.
Starstup says, I agree with David. It's all about the community for me. I've met so many like-minded people in real life. It's really encouraging. Looking forward to seeing you all at the Bash. Yeah, and that's like the Bash in Carlisle. For me, and probably for David too, to some degree. I don't want to speak for you, but you can agree or disagree. It's kind of, for the most part, very similar year after year. And if I wasn't going for the community, I probably wouldn't go every year because it's like, you're not really missing a lot if you don't go every year. But at the same time, I want to be there for you guys. I want to meet all you. I want to hang out. I mean, it ends up being a hangout. And anybody who's been to those events with us in the past can confirm. We go to dinners afterwards. We hang out. We talk. I mean, that's 99% of the fun. I'll be honest. I probably wouldn't even go if it wasn't for you guys.
Yeah. And I agree with you to some extent. Previously I would 100% agree with you, but now that I have a reason to have a booth on the Midway for my manifolds, it's a little bit different on me for more like, I can do more of the business end of things for that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it turns into a big hangout and, I get excited when people start messaging me or like, people are like, hey, I'm going up. Are you going up? I want to drive up with you, or I'm going to meet, this will be my first year at the Bash. Like, I think this is starched up Daryl. I think this is his first year at the Bash. So I'm excited just to get him up there, and he's got a wicked C6 Z06. It's like a 454 stroker that makes 600 something pound-feet of torque. It's insane. So I can't wait to see him meet these folks. But I'm with you, Justin. Like that's the best aspect of it, 100%. So. Yep.
Dan noticed the emblem on my guitar back there again. I just set that on there. I can't find anywhere else to put it that isn't covering something up. So I like that spot, but. That is from Chrome Domes. Yeah, so they make a lot of really cool emblems like that. I have a couple in the garage as well. That's a great question. Professor Corvette says, when's HPO going to have its own annual event? I heard it might be held in Nashville. Honestly, I had one in 2023 or 2022. I had it up here locally.
Was it the pizza one?
In PA. Yeah, it was... Cars and Pizza, I think it was. I don't even remember what I called it
Yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
it turned out to be pretty big. We had a lot of cars show up, so I might do it again this year, and I might actually do it a couple times. And what we're also going to do is Joe and I are going to have at least 2 shows during the summer at Criswell, which will be, a little closer
that's
to
nice, dude.
Professor Corvette in Nashville. It'll be in Maryland, but it'll be at, or very near the dealership,
Nice.
depending on where we can find it to set it up. But that would be, again, all you guys would be invited to, absolutely. But let's see.
Yeah, and there actually is I don't know how many I don't know how to say that name. Black Kent 69 or whatever. Anyway, yeah, there is an HPD event, but I think those spots are very limited. And I don't know. I'm gonna try to get a spot to run, but I know Paragon and their whole crew is going to be there. They're not going to actually be there for the bash. They're going to be there just for that, I believe. So those spots are going to go quick. So I'm going to try.
Yep, Kevin Horan actually saying the only reason he goes to the bash is because of everyone here. And I think, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you and Dan and Maria, and you guys have become really close friends. And now you met here, correct? I don't know if you guys were friends before you met here or not, but let me know if that was the case or not. Because if not, like there's a lot of really tight friendships that have been formed because of this community, and that's awesome too. But
yeah.
Joey Cuts says,
Yep.
Can we get our own HPO section at Carlisle 2026? That's not a bad idea either. I should look into that. Actually, David, maybe we'll talk about that for not this year, but next year. Maybe just buying a section and literally make it a horsepower obsessed DBM racing thing.
I'm sure you could do it like the Grand Sport Club. We can talk to Kevin about the details on that because he was the Grand Poobah.
Yeah, Kevin does know. Obviously, he goes there with his Corvette club as well. So,
Yep.
So
yeah, that was like Justin starched up. Daryl said it was 633 at the tire for his 454 LS7. Good Lord.
That's nice at a match too, though.
Kevin
I know, but that's just bonkers.
Maria and Dan from here. It looks like Kevin says yes.
Okay. All right, so it was they did meet here. That's awesome.
Wheeler, I'm looking for your question,
guys. We got 160 in here watching. Let's keep up with the thumbs ups. Let's get to. We should be well over 100 at this point. And also with the giveaway. Let's keep going with the throttle body. At this point, it is pretty evenly matched across the board here. Believe it or not, we got a lot of entries in here, and they're all. We got Charles with 100, Jay with 43, Mark with 80, Kevin with 130.
Jay Brazelton is gonna let Kevin Reynolds beat him.
Oh man, that's funny. Anyway, we're going to talk about a little bit of news here. So again, one thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the Grand Sport. We already have confirmed the Grand Sport's coming for 27. We're going to see it launched before the bash and probably see it at the bash, but the official launch is going to happen before the bash. So be prepared for that. You're going to see some details of the Grand Sport coming literally any day now. Now, with that said, there's been some talk, some whisperings about the E-Ray being canceled for 2027, possibly 28. Not 100% sure on this yet. But what's funny about this is we've been talking about the E-Ray being canceled since about a month after I drove one. I had Street Speed 717 come on here, and you guys can go back to the live video what I did with Street Speed. And him and I were talking mostly about the fact that we did not see an E-Ray lasting in the lineup. We almost all thought it was going to die. And now it's kind of starting to squeeze out, through the boards basically, that it's possibly going to be canceled again, and it could be taken over by a Grand Sport, or more specifically a Grand Sport X, a GSX. Now, why I told Squirrel Cage Garage to stay in here, because he has a lot to say about this. Him and I have been texting back and forth about this, where the GSX made sense initially to replace the E-Ray, but if you really think about it, the E-Ray didn't sell well, and it was mostly because it wasn't really advertised well. But there's more to it now. Now we have the ZR1X. Do we really need something like an E-Ray in the lineup? So even if they replace the E-Ray with a Grand Sport X, it's ultimately the same car. Ken and I are kind of on the same path here, that I don't think a Grand Sport X is going to exist either. I think they kill the E-Ray, and that's that. The Grand Sport by itself is already going to have more horsepower now than it would if it came out with the LT2. It's going to likely be around 540-ish horsepower. So it's going to still have the same engine that the Stingray will, and it's unlikely that it's going to get a front motor. And I think that is because of how poorly the E-Ray sold. With that said, I can I've not heard any confirmation of this, but I can almost guarantee you a Z06X is never going to exist. And there's a lot of good reasons for this. Number one, the E-Ray is not advertised at all from GM as a track car. It's not a track car. That's the Z06. If you want a track car, you get the Z06. If you want a grand touring that's pretty quick for drag strip stuff, that's your E-Ray. But now that's kind of being replaced in the lineup, at least, with the ZR1X. That's their drag strip king car. So if they do in fact cancel the E-Ray, I do not see a Grand Sport X or a GSX existing. I'm curious though, David, what do you think about that?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about that after Rick put out that thing.
Well, actually, before you go on with that, I am 100% the first person to say that the E-Ray was getting canceled.
Oh yeah,
and that the Grand Sport X GSX might replace said E-Ray. When Rick came on here, he actually said the opposite. He said that was not going to happen, and that would be GM making a mistake or admitting that they made a mistake. So, this latest wave of this news is not new. I've been talking about this for months,
that's what I was going to say.
Years.
Because when he put that out, then it got me circling back to the conversations you and I have had over the past 2 years on this, right? And my thought is that, I'm in agreement with about 90% of what you said. I think, though, that from a standpoint of, my hope was that the ZR1X would boost the E-Ray, keep it alive, be there for what it is, right? But it was marketed so poorly that, and again, I love the E-Ray. You guys know this. I mean, I've driven Nates. I love the E-Ray, but I just, from a standpoint of, does it make sense to keep making them? I don't know. Like a lot of vet guys will be like, what's an E-Ray? If they're not hardcore vet guys, a lot of people aren't. And certainly if you don't know vets, you have no clue. But I agree with you. I don't think a GSX comes because it would basically be rebranding the E-Ray with the new motor. I love the name. I think it would be hot.
It would be the E-Ray, which is why it's
that's the thing,
it's not even really a rebranding. It's like a totally new car that's the same thing. Like, it would be weird.
You're not going to sell it.
Right.
You're not going to sell it because it's going to be the same issues you have with the E-Ray. Also, I am a purist of some things. I love the C8. I love the LT6. I love the mid-engine platform. But let's talk. The Grand Sport has never been the hybrid car, the thing. It has been the budget track car that has the wide body, it has the aero, and it has the suspension goodies. It just has less power. It has always been,
and it's never had more horsepower than a Z06. And that brings us to the next point from Steven here. Is that the news is that the GSX would have more total horsepower than the track focused Z06.
Correct.
That by itself is so unlikely to happen because of that statement that a Grand Sport's never had more horsepower than a Z06. And for GM to do that, they would have to make a very clear distinction between these two cars. Yeah, the Z06 is the track car. That's how they brand it. The GSX would have to be very specifically, a drag strip car, not a track. They'd have to make that very obvious, because if they don't...
The way exactly. And the way I thought about it was, if they, again, hoping that ZR1X hype would bring up E-Ray hype, which my thought then was, well, would GM take the GSX and kind of market it as a ZR1X light and put it in that same category of power as well? There's your drag car, Grand Tourer, here's your track car. They both have the same horsepower, but they're completely different. Blah, 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 or has more horsepower. Like, I was kind of really wanting GM to do a little bit more with the ZR1X as far as the E-Ray platform goes, but it just looks like, honestly, it looks to me like they've just washed their hands of the E-Ray.
It's almost like they want to forget.
Move on.
Yeah, they want to forget about it because it was a bad launch, and I had a feeling this was coming whenever people that were looking to get one were having extreme trouble finding allocations. That by itself told me, okay, something's up here. But yeah, I don't know. And
that's what I said though, and they are about, yes, they've made a lot, but they are about heritage. They are about tradition. Whereas the Z06 is usually the track focused car, the bang for your buck, whatever else. The Grand Sport is always the track car light, where it has all the upgrades you need, but just not as much power.
Right.
So I don't see that at all. Really, to me at this point, because like I said, with the ZR1X hype, I was hoping that they would somehow put those together.
Yep.
And if they rebranded it, make it a
to be honest with
ZR1X
you,
light.
when the ZR1X was announced, I was actually surprised at the pretty overwhelming support for what that car was doing and how it was doing it, because of the very much so underwhelming support for the E-Ray doing basically the same thing on a smaller scale. And the kind of the reason for that is well, not the reason for that, but the reason for, I think that they're looking to phase the E-Ray out and probably not bring in a Grand Sport X. What that does is that actually frees them up now to make those motors for the ZR1X. And the ZR1X is not going to be a high production car. So it's going to be somewhat more limited, and that allows them to kind of get that real crazy high horsepower out there and maybe start to smooth over the Corvette crowd into this hybrid game, because the E-Ray didn't do it, but the ZR1X has a better capability of doing that.
Exactly. Well, and it really is like they just wash their hands of it, and then, I don't know, again, if like, rebranding it, making it a different model, do a GSX, it's like a ZR1X Lite, has any financial incentive for them to do. But I mean, you could even say, well, that, it's quicker and a quarter than a Z06, but it's not for that. This is the ZR1X Lite. This is whatever. But again, I mean, all those points of the carbon ceramic brakes, the wide body, the aero, the things, all of that stuff, they need them for the other cars as well.
Well, the wide body's not really as big of a deal, but the carbon ceramics, they've run out of those before, and that's the E-Ray comes standard with those. So now that frees them up for a lot more carbon ceramics, where the Grand Sport's not going to come standard with that. So now you got yourself the carbon ceramics for the ZR1 and the ZR1X that do come standard with that, and they're freeing up the electric motor units that can now go into ZR1X, like Ken's saying here. Well, to be honest, I would say right now, based on what I've heard whisperings wise, no, we're not going to get a Grand Sport X. We will get a Grand Sport, of course, not a GSX, and we're not going to ever see a Z06X. I think those two things are not going to happen, but the E-Ray is going to be phased out.
Well, and you got to look at it too on a timeline standpoint as well, right? Like, okay, so we get a Grand Sport for 27, then you get a GSX for 20 years. Like, when is the Z06X gonna fit? The last year before they switch in 29 or 30 to the C9 platform? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Plus, it doesn't fit the formula. It just doesn't fit the formula.
Well, I mean even Jay Brazelton has a good point here. He says the Z06 won't get the X when GM is getting mega bucks for the ZR1X. That's the big thing in any Corvette lineup. GM is very conscious of what car goes or slots above what car. And how do you make a Grand Sport X that would slot above a Z06 at potentially a lesser price point? It doesn't make sense. Now, the ZR1X is above the ZR1 because it's more horsepower. Below the ZR1 is the Z06.
And they would have to do something to give you... Yep. They would have to do something to give you more so they could charge more to then put it above the Z06. That's exactly what they would have to do. But it doesn't make sense with the fact that, the ZR1's selling, they're selling everyone they make. The ZR1X is out there, and like I said, they're getting mega bucks for it. But it really feels like they just washed their hands of it, because the Grand Sport's going to sell like hotcakes. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's going to go like crazy. It really, really is. You watch.
What's that, the ZR1X?
No, the Grand Sport is going to sell like hotcakes. I don't care what
the Grand Sport sells really well in every generation, and it's because for the same reason that the E-Ray should have. And this was my biggest complaint with the E-Ray was pricing. And if that car had come out at $15,000 less than it did, we would not be having this conversation. The E-Ray would have outsold all of them, and they would have never considered canceling that car. And yes, it's partially a marketing thing, but it's also partially a price thing. That car should have been priced where the Grand Sport's going to be priced, which is likely to be right around 85 to 89 grand. That's where the Grand Sport is very likely to start, and that's going to put it right in between the Stingray and the Z06, which is where it should have been. The E-Ray is between the Z06 and the Stingray, but it's much closer to the Z06 than it should be.
Well, and honestly, the earlier models were right there with the Z06. Once you optioned them out, they were right there with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you were talking basically Z06 and E-Ray money was about the same, you know, and at the time, nobody knew anything about the E-Ray. It wasn't marketed well. And they're like, well, it's E-Ray. Or, well, look, I can get a Z06, you know, so that we're just, that's really their fault on that. But I'm with you that it just, and I don't imagine there's another 15 grand in that, you know, short of the carbon ceramic brakes, which was 10 grand came stock. But I'm telling you, like you said, if they would have priced it less, 10, 15, whatever less, they could not have made enough of them.
GM typically prices these cars where at a 1LT with no options, they lose money. So the E-Ray would have been no different. Yeah, they're giving you a $10,000 brake upgrade, but in reality, is GM paying 10 grand for those? No. So sell more E-Rays in 3LT with the ZER package. You know, the stuff that makes them money, they could have easily done that if they really wanted to make up the money and start the car at 85 or 89 instead. And that's where it should have started based on my experience with it. I've said this 100 times, that it's not a bad car. Don't get me wrong.
No,
I prefer the Z06. It's not, that doesn't mean that the E-Ray is a bad car. I just feel like the biggest thing that was working against it, number one, in my opinion, was the price. Number two, the marketing. So with those two things said, I don't think GM's going to say, you know what, E-Ray's gone. Here's a Grand Sport X, though. Look at that. Look at that shiny new thing. Right. Oh, wait, it's not really new? Yeah, you're right. It's kind of the same thing. Why'd you guys do that? Then it is kind of them having to admit a mistake. So to just completely get around all of that, they'll just cancel the E-Ray and move on. Now they're going to have a nice pushrod V8 engine creating 540-ish horsepower with a wide body, which brings it all the way back to the roots of the Grand Sport. That's exactly what the Grand Sport's always been. So that's what it's going to be.
Yep. Well, and I'll be honest with you, where was that? Engineered Insanity. Great point, dude. So people, not GM, that they did do a little bit of this. They were pushing it like, oh, you could drive this all year round. You could drive it in the snow and the salt and all that crap. You're not going to buy a $140,000 option out E-Ray and drive it. Now, I know some people that do, and they post it on those issues. Good for you, but you're selling yours now, and it's going to be all banged up. I'm not buying I'm not buying an E-Ray that I've seen on Instagram getting just rocked.
Well, you know,
and ice and everything else.
Resale value out of the question. The way that this, and we've talked about this before too. Yeah, you can drive the E-Ray in the winter. Sure, it's all-wheel drive. It makes sense. What wintertime, what state I should say, gets a winter that you're going to be able to drive a car that sits that low to the ground? Yes, you got all four wheels spinning and you can not get stuck in the snow, but your splitter's going to get destroyed, ripped off. You're going to be literally scraping up snow as you're driving and pushing it up over the windshield. That is not a car for the snow. No matter how you cut it, I don't care how many wheels you have spinning, it's not a snow car. So, yeah, it's cool. You could drive it in the snow if you wanted to, I guess, but no one's going to realistically do that. If I had an E-Ray, I would take it out one time just to be like, hey, look, I can drive in the snow. Then it's never going to see snow again because why would you continue to do that?
Right. Fresh snow,
the
before
snow,
the salt hits.
I was going to say the snow by itself is not even the enemy here. It's the salt. Exactly. And it's like anywhere, any state that gets a lot of snow where you could, you know, utilize a car that's all-wheel drive like that is also going to get a lot of salt and you're going to destroy that thing. So it's a horrible idea across the board.
You're right. You're right. Well played, Wheeler. That's a very good math/physics joke. Well played. Well, and Rick, that's a good question. If they cancel the E-Ray, does that help or hurt resale? I mean, that's a good question. What do you think, Justin?
I'm going to stick with what I've always said, and I know I've got a couple E-Ray guys in here, and I'm going to hurt some feelings, but in 10 to 20 years from now, no one is going to remember the E-Ray. The car that they're going to remember for resale purposes, not the, you know, crazy high horsepower stuff, is going to be the Z06. It always is. If you go back to the C6 generation, the ZR1 was awesome. If you take 10 people that know Corvettes, 9 out of those 10 are going to say that they want the C6 Z06, not the C6 ZR1, because it's too expensive. The power, the crazy power, it wasn't that much crazier. The C6 had, or the Z06 had bespoke 7-liter engine, you know, that typical, it's always the Z06 because it's always the best bang for the buck. And it will be the same case here. And in 10 to 20 years from now, the E-Ray will be that car that was like, yeah, it's a wide body with an LT2 that weighs 400 pounds more than it should because I got a dead motor in the front that I can't hold charge in anymore. That's not going to be great.
And to add kind of to piggyback off your point, I don't think it helps because it's not one of those things where, oh, I have a 25 ZR1 that they only made 100 of.
Right.
The reason they didn't make that many was not a production issue as far as timing or anything like that. And there's not going to be, oh, they're really limited production, so therefore they're going to look at it kind of like you said, well, it was an E-Ray. I mean, they didn't sell a whole lot of them. It wasn't very popular. So I don't think it helps. I don't think it necessarily hurts. I think your resale value is going to be what your resale value is on an E-Ray, because if somebody's looking to get one, they do know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're kind of going to be there, but
Ken has a good point here. If we're talking about resale value in 10 to 20 years, what I said is true. But he said, you know, that it's true, but the recent values have seen a small bump in pricing because of this latest announcement that it might be going away. That's 100% accurate too. So short-term resale, I think it will help. Long-term, nothing's going to help it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Hybrid in general is just battery hybrid, I should say, is that right now the technology's not good enough to make it that a 20-year-old hybrid car is still going to be worth anything.
You know, and that's a really good thing. So let me ask you this, Justin. So obviously, hybrid performance is the performance metric for the future, right? Electric, hybrid, turbo, ICE, whatever. It's the performance metric. It's going to be the standard. But do we reach a point where we are concerned about, or we're not concerned anymore about, 10 years from now, I won't be able to get a battery or a replacement or whatever else? Do we reach that point technology wise? And how far out do you think we are from that? Do you think it's like just around the corner, or we got a ways to go?
We're quite a distance from there. And the problem is battery technology in general. It won't last. I mean, even you get a new phone, like an iPhone or something.
Right.
You typically get about 2 years out of that battery before you are charging it far more often than you used to have to. And it's like the hybrid stuff, any battery technology is going to be about the same. It's going to, over the period of time, it's going to hold less and less and less and less of a charge until eventually it doesn't hold any charge. And I mean, if I had to throw a year out there, we're at least probably 15 to 25 years away from something like that.
Yeah.
Where battery is not a concern.
Some of these, like, you do see some of these companies that are making batteries that are ability to recharge quicker and discharge quicker from a performance standpoint, right? Like in the car, where you're not worried so much about it, like if you're track rolling your car like the E-Ray. But with you, I'm with you on that whole, durability thing, because, everybody wants to say, oh, how fast Tesla Plaids are. But if you have a Tesla Plaid that's got some miles on it, it's not as fast as it was when you bought it.
Nope.
That's the problem.
Not only that,
continues to degrade.
You want to talk about resale value, look at a Tesla Plaid that has even 5,000 miles on it. You have lost 50 grand. Like, that anything battery, and I mean, even Amber's Cadillac, she has a Cadillac Lyric that when we bought that thing, it was like 78 grand or something like that. We just saw one on
38.
Yeah, we just saw one on Facebook Marketplace that had 5,000 miles on it. It was going for 38, and I was like, "What the?"
EV resale is not.
Yeah, there's
right
nothing
now.
to
EV,
it.
You're keeping it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Big. I got you in for. That's going to get you 20 entries. He says, I have a Stingray Z51. Not sure the 92 millimeter fits my car. If I win, I'll donate it to an active militia. Military. Yeah, that's what I meant. Service member or veteran on the HPO channel. Hey.
Oh, that's nice.
That guy's a veteran.
Yeah, that's very nice.
But
that's nice.
That's very nice. And actually, you donated before that too. I wanted to get you in on that, and I think that was 20. So you'll be in for 102 entries. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's really awesome, man.
But yeah, 102 for him. So this discussion I thought was going to get a rise out of some people, and I think it is. And it's not. I want to be very clear here. I do have some whisperings of this, but nothing concrete from any internal sources that is saying any of what I'm, or repeating any of what I'm saying with any kind of like set in stone stuff. I've heard people talking about this as a possibility. I don't know that this is necessarily 100% accurate. So don't hate me based on what I'm saying here. This is really just my opinion. And some of the people I've talked to, like David and Ken, Squirrel Cage Garage, offline, we've had this conversation where it makes a lot of sense. Everything we're discussing about the E-Ray going away, the GSX not existing, and really not existing in order to help fulfill ZR1X orders on carbon ceramic rotors and the hybrid motor, of course. So again, this is really speculation at this point, but there is a hair of official whisperings behind it. So I do personally think this is how it's going to go, but it's not necessarily 100%.
I mean, you've been pretty close on most of the stuff we've speculated on to this point. So it's not as it's that far off. Plus, the thing that, I brought it up a little bit, but like we are closing in on the end of a model year within the next several years as well. So you got to kind of throw that in there as well, to say, okay, are they going to run a GSX for 2 years or 1 year? I mean, that's so unlikely. It's not even funny. So.
Vader wants to know what the giveaway is. Tonight, we're going to be giving away a throttle controller for whatever car. As long as Solar makes it, you can get it for that car. It doesn't have to be a Corvette if you don't want to. And with that entry is also going to get you into the month end entry or giveaway of the 92 millimeter ported throttle bodies for the C8 Z06, the new billet aluminum ones, which are $1,350. So it's a big one tonight and at the end of the month, but we have some big entries already. So if you guys want to get in on this, I'm going to be giving the throttle controller away tonight. And as of right now, there are only 5 entries for the throttle controller. That's also the same people who will be entered at the end of the month for the throttle bodies as well. So if you want the throttle controller, you can enter to get that, and you also be entered to win the throttle bodies. So make sure you're doing that. We are going to start wrapping this up very soon here, though, so get in while you can.
Yep. And Tyler, nice car. Nice purchase, brother.
Yeah, that was very nice. Yeah, good for you. I know you've been looking for it forever. I'm glad you finally got one. Yeah, and actually, I wanted to know, and I'll talk to you off camera here. I wanted to know, coming from the cars that you've had, I know you had a C5.
Yeah.
What are you noticing, like with the C7? What I'm sure it's got to be all great things, but I'd like to see.
Yep.
Let's see. Big says that he has a 91 millimeter currently. Does the 92 fit the Stingray Z51? No. So the 92 is for the C8 Z06. But honestly, if you enter to win and you do win, we could probably exchange that with something that would fit your Stingray Z51. Because to be honest with you, it's less money. These are the most expensive throttle bodies that Solar Performance has on their website. So if you enter to win this and you don't have a Z06 and you'd want to get something else that's lesser value, the answer to that's going to be yes. So don't feel like you can't enter if you don't have a Z06, because we'll still get you something. Jay Brazelton says, hey, can I get one 92 millimeter with HPO and one with DBM on them? Just asking. That would be actually kind of cool. But I know
yeah, that would be funny.
They didn't really want to get too crazy with the engravings on these, which is why that would probably be a no. He says thanks, he'd rather donate. Okay, no big deal. For the Stingray, I believe it goes up to 95 millimeter, but yeah, Joe confirmed. Just enter to win. So yeah, if you guys enter and you don't have a Z06, like I said, they'll be happy to send you a throttle body that's not the most expensive one that they have on their website. So again, guys, if you're just tuning in, please smash the thumbs up button. We are going to give away a throttle controller here in a couple minutes, but I did want to just reiterate that I do not think a Grand Sport X GSX is coming. I know a Grand Sport is coming in 27, but probably not an X. And I do think the E-Ray is going to be phased out in 27 or possibly 28, but if I had to guess, 27. So, engraving adds a millimeter. Actually, technically, engraving would remove a little bit of material. So can my
remove weight?
Yeah, exactly. Can my engraving say on constraint? It would if it was from GM. I can promise you
Yeah,
that one.
right.
Engraving adds 10 horsepower at the wheel. I totally agree. There's no way it doesn't. And actually, real quick, guys, I did want to show this. The first ZR1X has arrived at NCM. So obviously, some of these have already been delivered, but this is at the NCM. This is going to be a National Corvette Museum delivery. So somebody's going to pick up obviously a new silver ZR1X. But what's really cool about this is, number one, it looks like a ZTK package, I should say, because it's hard to tell what the... No, that is. Okay, so it does have the Sport Cup 2Rs. It's got the big wing and all that stuff. Of course, the 10-piston calipers, those come standard on the ZR1X. But the color is really cool here. You could tell that the calipers are blue on with the silver exterior.
Yeah.
And in the interior, look at how awesome that looks.
That's such a great spec.
That is a really cool color combination.
Yeah, that is spec'd out very nice.
But this is at the National Corvette Museum right now. It's going to be obviously delivered to some lucky person. Yeah, the unquailed version, because it's not matte. Jay Brazelton says
that spec is so nice.
If he wins, I can give his 91s away. So we'll see. But yeah, the ZR1X officially at the museum already. And what's even more interesting is if you're lucky enough to have purchased a ZR1X, which I really only know one person that has, the speed shape is now available for it. And check this thing out. Look how cool this looks. So obviously the speed shapes have just been getting cooler and cooler with the lineup here, but this speed shape for the ZR1X has the split window in the back, the hood vent obviously in the front, the very pronounced vent in the side of the air intakes on the side for the brake duct cooling and stuff. That is just like, there's so much detail to that now. It looks really cool. So these are officially being sent out, of course, with your.
I saw that, and the only thing I wish they would, like, if you got a ZTK car, if they put the big wing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would want. Yeah. That would be insane, man.
Yeah, that would be neat, because it's like I have this model of a ZR, my C7 ZR1, and I mean it's got a big wing on it. It's got the dive planes and stuff on the front. It's got a lot of dust on it too, actually, but yeah. So they could do something like that. And instead of a speed shape,
course they could.
They could give you an actual model of your actual car, like color and everything. That would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, that speed shape.
That would be pretty cool.
Like your Stingray one is just.
Like the Stingray one that I have up on the wall, it literally just looks like a colored blob. Then the Z06 started to take a little bit more shape. Then now the ZR1X is actually starting to look like an actual car, but.
Well, at least your Stingray one's red. My Carbon Flash, just like from a distance, looks like a blob on
my black, the Z06 for my black car, Hall's Hideaway says, how do you enter the giveaway? So you could do it one of two ways. Venmo, Horsepower Obsessed, all one word. You can send that way, or you can send it right here on the YouTube chat. Down at the bottom right, you'll see a little logo that looks like a $sign. If you click that, it will allow you to donate right through the super chat here too. Either way will work, and either way I'll see on my phone here, and I'll make sure you guys get credit for entering. I missed a question from Wheeler. What was that question? Let me see if I can find it up above.
Yeah, I'm trying to look too and see.
Wheeler, if you want to just copy and paste it, probably be the easiest way. Let me know what that question was, Wheeler. I'll get it for sure, though. Yeah, in addition to the speed shape, you get a leather jacket and some shoes as well. They're trying to make sure that your $250,000 is well spent, you know?
New Balance shoes?
No, they're...
New Balance, of course.
No, they're Pilati or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Well played, Amber. Well played.
Die-cast over speed shape. I never even took mine out of the boxes. Yeah, I mean... these die-cast cars I have here, I have one for my black ZR1 and then one for my black Z06 that actually Larry Anthony sent me. And they're both, like, if I would have gotten one of those instead, it's a carbon copy of the actual car I purchased. Like, the interior's finished and everything. That looks way better than just like a blob. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad GM does something. It's kind of cool to get a special little gift. So I don't want to feel like I'm, you know, ungrateful by any means, but at the same time, it could be cooler, especially for 250 grand, you know?
Yes. For
Yeah, and then
250
Bill,
grand, there should be way more than a speed blob.
speed blob. Bill waited 2 years for his speed shape.
That's crazy.
A miniature exact spec would be cool, yeah.
I
Let's
mean, they do it
see.
with other stuff, not on a higher scale like that. Like if you do R8C delivery, they'll like embroider your actual spec on
Yeah.
your stuff. So I mean, I know that's different and not GM. It's the Corvette Museum, but still, it could be done.
Yeah, it absolutely could be done. Now, one other thing I did want to talk about real quick here, guys, while we're oh no, there's Wheeler. Do the RSC stanchions add drag/downforce? Do they do any simulations or wind tunnel testing? Can you put them in carbon flash instead of weave? They do actually do a lot of wind tunnel testing, believe it or not. The most recent visit out there, which was just this past weekend, you guys will see what's coming from that soon. There's a new wing that's being, I think it's available now, but if not, it's in development, that he was telling me has spent a lot of time in wind tunnel testing to show that it actually produces more downforce than the Z07 wing. So this is going to be an upgrade to the Z07 wing if you want to be a track guy with a Z06. Nice. Not everything that they sell, I guess, has wind tunnel testing. I don't have the answer for that 100%. But I don't think the stanchions add drag or downforce. I'm pretty sure nothing is really changed with them. They do offer them in carbon flash as well. And
I was going to say, I've had people ask that as well. Do they offer them in carbon flash? So.
They're going to be offering a lot more stuff in carbon flash too in the future. So stay tuned for that. Sean says he's waited almost a year to get his speed shape. He had to call customer service to get it. Yep. Professor Corvette said he thought his speed shape would be filled with chocolate, but it wasn't. I want to see that with a bite taken out of it. But like, what the heck is this?
Exactly.
Now, one other thing I did want to mention, because I've had some questions about this. If you guys have a 2025 or newer C8 and it didn't come with an owner's manual, you can actually buy one for your car. It's substantially more expensive than I thought it would be, but just so you know, it is an option. 25 and 26, you can request a free Corvette owner's manual. It's free.
Free.
With a lot of quotes. But it was $30 to ship. So, yeah, I don't know.
Just pay a one-time shipping and handling fee of $59.99.
Actually, no, that was that might be something else now that I'm reading this. So at the bottom of the page. Yeah, you can have somebody else print it and send it for $30.
It says here the cost isn't cheap. The manuals are $50.
Yeah, is that I can't tell how that's worded. If that's $50 from this particular company or if Chevrolet is giving these for free.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you must be the original owner. You'll need your VIN before making the call. Yeah, it sounds like if you call the Corvette concierge, they will send it to you for free, it looks like. So that, what I'm reading there about the $30 shipping, that's something different. All right, so yeah, if you want to get one of these, you can call that number apparently, and at the Corvette concierge, right there's the number if you guys want it. Call them and get a free copy of it. That's never been something I absolutely need. I mean, the manual doesn't really tell you much that you can't find on the internet anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a paperwork thing though. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes like want to have I mean, I'm kind of the way. I have my window sticker, my build sheet, all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, Professor Corvette's saying it was the helm manual that was $50. So you can get the actual manual for free, it looks like. And I guess that's good. They don't include it for free anymore, but I guess it's good.
Yeah.
Let me think. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, and then I heard some of you guys were talking about this before we started live here, and that was the weird way that GM's handling the ZR1X Quail Edition allocations. It's like
it's not like Christian.
They're giving like really weird hand-picked almost people the allocations. There's no rhyme or reason to it yet, it seems. But the official title over here at the Mid-Engine Corvette Forum is that Chevrolet offers super secret allocations for the first Quail Silver Corvette ZR1Xs, and that's pretty much it. If you want a Quail Edition, David could help you for 400 grand over if you'd like. But otherwise you're probably not going to get one at this point. If they're hand picking these guys, it's very unlikely to be you that they hand pick. So
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Professor Corvette says, now I can say my Corvette has a manual.
There you go.
Yeah, Engineered Sanity says, so with a ZR1X, they'll give you shoes, but not a user manual. Oh, man. You got to love the comedy here. David, would you consider 390 over?
It's not me, man.
The
You got to
real
argue
offer.
with the dealers. That's a real offer. It's a real
The
offer.
sad part is I could literally see them saying no. I could literally see them saying,
yeah,
nope, it's got to be
100%,
400.
Yeah, 100%.
Jay Browsington
Plus,
says
if you
he
had
can
that
find
kind
one
of
for
money,
350.
I would do. I would say I would do that. Like I said, if it was one of those things where I had that money, I'd be like, yeah, I'll give you 390 for it, just because.
399.
350 over. There you go, Jay.
Yeah.
350 over, man.
I was going to say, we'll just go with the lowest bidder here. At this point, Jay Browsington says 350. I mean, what ridiculous numbers, seriously. Like, me and David were talking about this. It's like you're at $650,000 for a Corvette. That's worth $250 at best. Like,
yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah.
I sincerely hope no one does that, but someone will.
Yeah, I'm big. As far as tire pressures, bro. Anywhere that 32 to 34 psi when you're warm is fine. Remember that they'll cool when you're not driving it or whatever. It'll come up to temp. You don't have to worry about extreme tire temperatures like you would at the track. So just set your tire temps to whatever GM says. I think it's like right around 32 is where it should be at when you're driving.
For the Z06, it's 35 psi.
Okay,
for the Z07 package car, it's 30 psi. I have no idea why there's a difference there. I guess it's just a different compound. But if you have the Sport Cup 2Rs, they're basically 30 psi. The Sport 4Ss are 35.
Well, it's all about the compound because the Cup 2Rs are going to heat up, and they're going to heat up quicker, and they're going to heat up more. So as they heat up, the PSI goes up. So.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So with that said, those are temperatures that it should be at cold, though. I'm pretty sure. You want to set those cold, and then as they warm up, that's fine.
Yeah, because you watch them, like you just put them up on your dash and watch them when you drive. After you've been driving for a while, the temps will go up just from the friction. So, yep.
All right, so Habanero kind of cleared it up here. He says the manual is free if you made your purchase within the last 6 months, new 25 or 26. So you can request that manual for free. Or you can get that Helm version like Professor Corvette did for $50 plus $30 shipping for some reason. Hall's Hideaway says he sent a Venmo. Let's see. Yep, I did get it. So actually, it looks like we might have gotten more than one. Shane, I got you in. You'll get in there for 2 entries. So, Shane, you are in for 2 entries. And I'm going to be giving away a throttle controller tonight. And anybody who's entered will still be entered for the big giveaway at the end of the month. And like I said before, guys, if you want to become a member of the channel here, now's the time to do it because at the end of the month, the last Monday, I'm going to give members free entries. It's going to be more than one, possibly significant. So make sure you are becoming a member if you're not already for your free entry on those throttle bodies. You will have to be in here for that.
There you go. And drive by day, you're not being too specific on looking for what you want. There's going to be a lot of Z06s that will come to market used. So, and you can come.
And Kevin Horan called me out on my BS here. He says it's the opposite. 35 is for Cup 2Rs.
Thank you, Kevin.
30 is for Sport 4S, and he's right. So thank you for keeping us honest here, Kevin. To be honest, the tire PSI on these cars, it does matter quite a bit. You don't want to mess with that stuff. So I'm very glad, Kevin, that you brought that to the table here because I knew I was right, but I had it flipped. 35 psi for the Cup 2Rs, 30 for Sport 4S. Yeah. And like David said, somewhere between 32 and 35, you're good. And that's true too. Exactly. But if you want to dial it in, yeah. Actually, Texas Clay beat Kevin to it. But again, thanks for keeping us honest here. And that's again why the community is such a good place to be, because you're going to get correct information one way or another. Drive by Day says, if I'm looking for a Z06 convertible, red mist, black interior, red stitching, stealth, nose lift, Z07, am I being too specific to ever find one? You're approaching that's being too specific, but I don't think you're quite there. It's going to take you a little longer to find that, but there's a lot of those out there. especially in red mist. Red mist was one of the more produced colors as well. If you really want to find a car, black, white, or red are going to be the most common produced colors. So,
Yep.
Sean says Kevin used his free manual for that information. Oh, I love it. You guys are too much.
Drive by day. Do you mean my C6? Because you said how is that with the cam? Do you mean my C6?
Mean C6. Yeah.
Okay. I love that AWE on my C6. It's insane. It's the best sounding C6 exhaust I've heard, and the best part is there's no drone, which is crazy. I thought for sure that thing was gonna go. I do have cats. I have long tubes and a massive cam, but it really, and there's a good bit of compression in my car, and you can hear it when it starts and when it cranks over. But you cannot go wrong with the AWE touring on that car. It's the right amount of loud. It's perfect, and no drone.
AWE is almost always that. It is almost always the right amount.
Well, they spend so much time designing them specifically to keep the drone out.
Yep.
You know, that's exactly what, and I love it. I absolutely. Plus the quality. I mean, you've seen on Justin's car, but I mean the tips with the AWE, and then on the thing on the frame it says AWE, and the quality is just lights out, bro. But yeah, you can't go wrong with the AWE on there, man.
All right, guys, I'm going to start putting the names in for the giveaway tonight, which is going to be the throttle controller. Now, if you entered big like Charles and Kevin and all those guys, if you entered big for the throttle bodies, don't worry, your entry's still going to be there at the end of the month. However, you are going to be entered into the throttle controller giveaway tonight as well. So if any of you want to get in on the throttle controller giveaway that I'm going to be putting in names for right now, you are going to have exactly 3 more minutes to do so. So 3 minutes, get in on the entries. If you don't want to, I fully understand. Either way, you guys will be entered at the end of the month as well. Even if you do win the throttle controller, you are still eligible for the throttle bodies. So I'm going to start doing that now. You got 3 minutes to get your name in here otherwise, guys. So there is 6 people have entered. So these 6 people have entered pretty big, but either way, there's only 6 that have entered.
Yep. Yeah, Bill, if you got an exhaust that drones, it is murder on the highway. You can tolerate it for like an hour, and then after that, you're like, F this. Like, it really, I mean, and it's not even just the sound, it's that pressure wave in the car. Like, it's horrible. I hate it, but I have, like,
when people talk about drone, I remember the first time I really experienced drone, and it was in a C5 Corvette with a Billy Boat exhaust that had no cats, no mufflers, long tube headers. That was the first time I've ever experienced drone, and I did not know what drone was. I thought I did, but I did not know until I experienced it. I was like, oh my God. You can feel it. It's literally like your brain is buzzing. It is awful.
Yeah, it's horrible. But yeah, that's the thing. They not only do they design their stuff at AW to sound good, but they really focus on getting the drone out with their design. You won't get drone with an AW exhaust. So
Anthony George asked me, Justin, headers or RSC hood? I'm just going to answer that with yes.
And you're welcome, Mr. Kevin Horan. I'm glad it worked out that I could just hook you up with that, man.
Oh, what did he do?
So the a lot of the valve drop issues were airflow stuff for aftermarket cold airs, and but anyway, when I built my car, I sent in my stock C606 intake for valve starter.
Okay. All right, so giveaway wheel is ready, guys. We got 1 minute. Got 1 minute here. I haven't gotten any more entries, so if you want to get in, now's the time to do it. We will be giving away the throttle bodies, like I said, last Monday of March. Oh, we did get one final minute entry here. Last Monday of March, and that's when the members are going to get their free entries as well. So be here for that. So we got Chris.
Yeah, because you don't want to miss your chance on these things. These things are jewelry. They are absolutely amazing.
With how big these guys have entered this week, wait until you see how small the sliver is for 2 and 1 entries. It is really
E-Rate
tiny.
Nate has proved everyone that you can win on a free entry, and from that, I'll live on that.
Thompson, I got 10K off my 26 3LZ ZS7 with carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Chris Pelkey sent a Venmo.
Yep,
Habanero
I got
06.
it.
Okay.
So we're good now, guys. The drawing for tonight is closed. This is for the throttle controller only. All of these names are going to be moved to the final giveaway entry as well. So don't worry about it if that was what you're really into here. But yeah, you guys, here's the wheel. Let's check out the the sliver there for 2 and 1 entry. Now, like David said, that does not mean it's impossible, but
Nope,
man, it's looking slim.
Yeah. Well, C8 and 8 proved us all wrong.
Right. All right. So how many times are we shuffling? Let's say
8.
Okay, Amber has no skin in the game. She'll go 8 here. Let's do 1, 2, or that's the wrong button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right.
There we go.
Oh my.
John said we're going to burn the bearing on the wheel.
Kevin Reynolds.
All right. So yeah, it
looks
like
like
it's gonna
Kevin
settle on
Reynolds.
All right, Kevin. Like I said, this does not take you out of the running for the throttle bodies, but you are the winner of the throttle controller for tonight. So just
Congrats, man.
shoot me an email again.
Congrats.
I'm pretty sure I have your address somewhere, but it's always easier if that email's sitting right on top. So Kevin, send me an email with your shipping address, and I'll make sure you get a throttle controller for whatever car it is you want to put that on. Not sure if you have one on your Z06 yet or not, but either way, shoot me an email. Let me know. All of you guys will be entered still at the end of the month for the new 92 millimeter throttle bodies, and we can continue those and give the members the free entries as well. Again, consider becoming a member if you haven't yet. That is something you're going to want to take advantage of this time around.
And check out Justin's video today on the 92s if you haven't seen it already. And then I'll have one coming tomorrow. But that way, give you all the information between the two of us that you're going to want to see. But you're not going to want to miss out on these 92s, man. They are amazing.
Yep. No chili pepper. It was actually 8. I hit the wrong button the first time. It sorted it differently. Either way, guys, we're good to go. That's going to kind of wrap this up for tonight. Yep. So we'll see you same time, same place next Monday night. Stay obsessed.